Milwaukee County Historical Society. My name is Ben Barbera. I have the good fortune of being the executive director, and I have the even better fortune of kicking off this event tonight. We're all very excited that you could join us as we announce the winner of the Public Art Award presented by Janice and Stephen Marcus. This award stemmed from Janice's suggestion that we do more to celebrate Milwaukee's impressive arts and culture scene through our annual awards presentation. After several discussions, many different iterations, we decided that recognizing public art fits our mission well. And ultimately, we decided a separate event is the best way to honor our finalists. And also, it's an excuse to get all of you into our building. So we're very pleased that you are here as we celebrate the finalists tonight. I have to say this cannot be done without the tireless efforts of several individuals. Sam Mikulski from our staff is the driving force behind all things Public Art Award. Thank you. Also, this would not work without our jurors, so I want to thank our jurors John Riepenhoff, Linda Marcus, and Jeff Morin for their work, assessing the nominees, making the final selections, and just really being there to help us make this happen. And finally, I want to give a major thank you to Janice and Stephen Marcus for their support of this award and their longtime and ongoing support of the Milwaukee County Historical Society. So now, it is my honor to present the finalists for the Public Art Award presented by Janice and Stephen Marcus. In no particular order, they are Reflection of Memories by Richard Haas, We Are the Power of Society by Amelia Bader, Birds of Knowledge of Good and Evil by Magdalena Abakanowicz, and People Helping People by Edward Cathony. And now I'd like to invite John Riepenhoff to tell you more about We Are the Power of Society. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Sam. Thanks you guys for coming. So, We Are the Power of Society exemplifies so many qualities this award exists to celebrate. It's artist-driven and reflects the values of the neighborhood where it lives. Commissioned or initiated and the funding organized entirely by Banana. Actually, I learned today that Banana kind of identified a site and kind of did this prompt for the artist, but that actually the funding came 100% from crowdsourcing from the community. So this is totally a grassroots artwork. And Banana is a Milwaukee-based collective of Muslim and Swana women artists. The mural depicts 12 figures from across Muslim diaspora, Somali, Afghan, Palestinian, Burmese, and more, standing side by side under the title phrase written in both English and Arabic. Project lead artist who's here tonight, Amelia Bader, put it simply, our differences make us beautiful. I'd encourage everyone here tonight to visit Amana Food Market on South 13th Street in South Milwaukee. Grab one of their delicious falafel sandwiches, or as I learned today, one of between 4,000 and 5,000 different items that the market offers from around the world. And then step outside and take this mural's colors and message in for yourself.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to talk about Birds of Paradise, Good and Evil. Birds of Knowledge of Good and Evil. If you look at this sculpture, their surfaces are rough and organic. The material is modern. Each figure differs. Some have 2 wings, others have 4. And their wings are set at different angles, suggesting movement or perhaps even instability. The most striking is that the birds have no heads. The absence is central to Magdalena Abakanowicz practice, where she explores a tension between individuality and the collective. Here the birds read as a unified flock, yet each one remains distinct. They become less about birds themselves and more about human experience, how we exist within groups, systems, and histories. The title deepens this reading, Birds of Knowledge of Good and Evil. It seems to echo the idea of moral awareness and choice. These forms seem suspended between the consciousness and sense of becoming. The wings extend outward, suggesting flight, yet they remain firmly grounded. Commissioned to mark the 125th anniversary of the Women's Club of Wisconsin, the sculpture also carries a civic dimension. It can be read as a metaphor for the collective effort, individuals working together towards a shared goal. Out in the open, the work shifts with the light, the weather, and the movement, of course, of the individual viewers. It invites us to walk around the forms, to compare them, and to reflect ourselves. In this quiet moment, its monumental presence, the sculpture poses a lasting question. How do we remain individuals within the collective, and what does it mean to act as something larger than ourselves?
Just a few words about the process. Many of you and many people around the community nominated public art to be considered for this designation. Our job as jurors is to start with that initial list and somehow cull down to a workable number of entries. The ones that you're meeting tonight are those 4 pieces that for some reason stood out and had some connection to the community, as they all do because of the nature of public art. The easiest part of the process is to start. The most difficult part of the process is to settle on the recipient, because any of the 4 that we're introducing you to tonight are highly meritorious of recognition. The project that I get to discuss this evening is Reflections of Memories from 1981 by Richard Haas. He's an American artist with an international reputation as a master of trompe-l'oeil, or fool the eye. And in this respect, to some degree, it's wonderful that this was a nominee tonight, because the way that this mural is designed, it's supposed to exist in our peripheral vision, not something that we would necessarily confront directly. It has been restored and integrated in the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra's new downtown performance complex. The east-facing facade of the Bradley Symphony Center at 212 West Wisconsin Avenue is the location. And for some folks, they think, yeah, I've seen that, but it's like, you're having that moment. I just saw that moment. Oh yeah, I know where that is, and I've always been curious about it. It's on a very, very sort of blank slate for a mural, and it is designed, I think, perfectly aligned with the Milwaukee County Historical Society's effort to focus on witnesses of history, because this mural is a witness to history. It includes buildings in the reflection, in the trompe-l'oeil, that no longer exist. And Haas is no stranger to Milwaukee. He and his family, he moved here as a child. I assume he didn't do that alone. He moved with his family, and he went to Pius, a school known for its art programming in the community, and then earned a Bachelor of Science degree in art education from UW Milwaukee in 1959. There are additional works by this artist in the permanent collection at the Milwaukee Art Museum, such as small diorama scenes exploring architectural history. The work itself creates the illusion of a 3D Art Deco facade and reflects Milwaukee's lost architectural history. You would think that it is simply a reflection of the neighborhood, but it actually includes things like the Pabst Building, the Lakefront Depot, and the Gimbel's department store, which are no longer there. So it is an eloquent statement on what was, and a bit of a plea to make sure that we preserve what is. It functions as a visual time capsule, preserving memory through architectural reflection and artistic illusion. It exemplifies Haas's contribution to modern muralism reconnecting urban communities and their visual history. And one of the interesting things about this piece, and it was something to read about in the nature of those artists who make murals. Much of his work no longer exists. It was architectural, it was included on the building changed, the building no longer exists. So artists who commit to this genre of work know that at some point their work may pass. And it's particularly poetic for Haas's work because it's all about remembering what was there before. So that is Reflections of Memories by Richard Haas. The fourth piece that we considered is People Helping People by Edward Cathony. And for comments on that.
Has anyone here seen People Helping People, the ceramic, the tile? Oh wow, very impressive. Well, People Helping People was a discovery for me through the process of doing this. This 1970 ceramic tile mosaic at 803 West Michigan has lived at its current site for more than 50 years. Yet until this year, I had never seen or heard of it. The tiles themselves were made by Alan Bradley, a local manufacturer. Today, us art advocates are working to make productive connections between our business leaders and artists. So to think that over 50 years ago, artists in major Milwaukee industry were collaborating actively to make art is inspiring. The image, figures supporting one another, speak to our city's deep tradition of socialism, labor solidarity, and collective care, while feeling urgently relevant to today's crisis of isolation and disconnection. Because of changes to the property this piece exists on, its future is uncertain. To nominate this piece is to remind Milwaukee of our history of supporting innovative public art and supporting one another, and to hope that public attention to people helping people will activate care for the mosaic to be preserved for future generations.
So, as of 2023, the mural faced an uncertain future due to the demolition of the host building to make room for the new Iron District development. Preservation groups like Docomomo, Wisconsin, have been working to save, remove, and eventually reinstall the piece at a new location. It's that fragile nature that I spoke about for murals and public art. Public art sometimes needs the help of the public. And this is one particular example where the art itself done for the public about figures connected to industry, and about Milwaukee's role in modernism as an art movement. This becomes a central piece for that movement and is often referenced when people talk about modernism as an art movement or style in Milwaukee. So those are our 4 candidates that we consider amongst many others. Now, my plea to you is next year, every one of you nominate another piece to make this job equally difficult for the next group, and that will be appreciated. It's my honor and my pleasure to speak on behalf of the committee of jurors to announce the recipient and to invite folks to come up and speak on behalf of the creation of the work. So, the piece that we selected is People Helping People by Abakanowicz. Are 3 of his children, Anne Dufkus, Janice Albert, and John Cathony, who will say a few words about the piece itself, or maybe its creation, some secret we don't know about. So I invite them up to say a few words.
Thank you on behalf of the entire Cathony family We would like to thank the Milwaukee County Historical Society and the Award Committee, Janice and Stephen Marcus for sponsoring the event, and Eric Ide for submitting Dad's mural to be nominated. It's a great honor to accept this award in recognition of Dad's design of this mural. People helping people represents pride and belonging and a connection to our shared community and helping one another. The mural's message is one of cooperation and service. The mural is relevant today as it was back in the 70s. And it's also amazing that the Tega ceramic tile, manufactured by Milwaukee's Allen Bradley Company, has survived the test of time just in the color and everything else that it's still maintained. Dad said that Milwaukee was always good to him and his artwork, and that Milwaukee always welcomed him. Just maybe a short background on Edward Cathony. He was drawn to art at an early age. As a child, he participated in Park District art programs. Later in life, he joined the Army and served in World War II as an Army combat medic in the European theater, where he was awarded a Bronze Star and combat infantry medals. He studied art in Europe after the war, then came back to the States. Back in the States, Dad met Mom while they both worked together. They married, and Mom was his biggest fan and his greatest source of encouragement. Dad worked in advertising for years, then later went into business for himself. He developed his signature style of hardline Americana, which is the style that the mural is currently in. He lived his life doing what he loved, and he is fondly remembered by his family, including his children, his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, who will now carry on the Cathony name. It is our hope that the mural will continue to enhance Milwaukee's landscape, even as the building's future remains uncertain. Thank you again for recognizing this, and we humbly accept the award in Dad's name. He would have been extremely proud to have been awarded this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's have one more round of applause. All right. Before we finish, I would like to mention that our annual awards dinner is on May 15th at the Pfister Hotel. And there we will convey the award as part of our award ceremony, where we honor many other accolades and awardees. I'd also like to mention that we have a new semi-permanent exhibit opening on June 11th called We the People, Milwaukee Stories of Immigration, Citizenship, and Community. And I would encourage all of you to come to the exhibit opening the evening of June 11th. And with that, I thank you all for coming. And if we could have all the finalists and their various entourages come up for some pictures, that would be great. Thank you.